You guys are gonna hate me for this, and it's been a while since I made one of these, but it's time to redo it again. Coffee dates don't make it easier for you, they make it easier for him to date multiple women. Oh, well, they just make it easy for me? You're making yourself easy to date for multiple men. But nobody's gonna wanna date me if I don't go on coffee dates. That's the point! You're not for everybody, you're not supposed to be! You wanna be appealing to the losers? Oh, but the dating experts say... Who said they were experts? Was it them? Or was it you? And since you started calling them experts, how many questions do you have in your mind every day? Wondering why you don't get text back, or why they didn't hit you up before the date. Oh, but I'm making it so easy to date me, I'm just going out for coffee. And they still don't want to meet up with you?
I don't really know what she means by making it easier for the guy, because it's a date. You're supposed to get to know each other, you know? So this whole, like, it's a competition, like who can win over the other, like women like this keep other women single. And I don't know what she means by loser, because he asked you out on a date, he's a loser. He doesn't take you to a, I don't know, whatever fancy restaurant that she's expecting, he's a loser.
Do not go on that coffee date. Do not go on that boba date. Do not go meet that man for drinks. This man saw you, and his first initial thought wasn't, wow, I'd really love to get to know her over some dinner and a nice ambiance. He looked at you and said, Dunkin', Starbucks. The amount of messages that I get from men that ask me if I like coffee. No, bitch, I don't like coffee.
I think a lot of people have misconstrued the whole concept of a first date. A first date is not meant for a guy to just spend money. It's meant for both of you to get to know each other. And I think that goes over people's head. They think that the entry price is a nice dinner, you know, it needs to be a certain ambiance and vibes. You can get your Instagram pics, whatever people want nowadays. The purpose of a date is to get to know each other. It's not about spending money and looking fly. It's literally you two getting together and seeing if you like each other. So
what are your thoughts on coffee dates versus dinner dates as a first meeting? No. I think anytime if a guy just wants to ask you for coffee, I'll tell you why he does. It's either because he goes on a lot of first dates and he's super picky and he doesn't want to spend the money because he knows he's picky and he almost never likes anybody, or he usually rarely gets second dates, and or he's cheap. So it's either 1, 2, 3.
Do you know what men really want? They want a woman whose glasses are not bigger than a fucking car windshield, okay? So calm down. You said you want a guy who's excited to date you and spend the time. That's literally what he's doing. Forget about coffee. Let's do something else, an activity.
Girls spend probably around 2 hours getting ready. At least I know that I do.
Her video is saying that she doesn't accept coffee dates. And the fact that it takes her like a lot of time to get ready is part of the reason. Like if I do all of this to get ready for this date and you can't even buy me a meal, no thank you. And I can understand that. What you're seeing here is a difference in fundamental ways of thinking. I personally think coffee dates make a amazing first date. Probably the best. It can be short and sweet. You're just meeting to make sure it's the real person and that you have mutual interests. From there, do dinner, talk golf, whatever you want to do. The guy asking you on the coffee date is probably looking for just that. Something laid back and easy. If you feel the need to spend 2 hours getting ready for a coffee date, you probably aren't thinking about it the same way. Because the guy that's asking you on a coffee date would be fine with you showing up in your leggings and a top and a bun. Minimal to no makeup. If you want to do more than that, that's on you. Feel free. And this is why I wouldn't date someone personally who wasn't okay with a first date coffee date, because we're not thinking about this the same way. I would also, when I asked you on the coffee date, say, hey, why don't we just grab a cup of coffee? It can be really cool, chill. Let's just meet, and then we can decide what to do for our second date if everything goes well. If you're opposed to that and feel like you need to go get your hair done, your nails done, spend 2 hours doing your makeup, get a new outfit, etc., we just don't think about it the same way. And that's okay. You're not going to be the one for me.
And this is the thing, what this guy said. Men and women look at dating differently. A man won't get offended if you show up in sweats and, you know, you came from the gym for a coffee date, quick to chat and see if you like each other. A man won't get offended. So this whole thing of like, oh, well, you know, you should take me to dinner at least because I spent all this time getting ready. That's women. You're putting the requirements on yourself. A man did not tell you to, you know, get dressed up and dolled up for a date. That's you decided to do that. So it's a perfect example of how we look at things from a certain lens, the women's perspective, and we don't want to look at it from a guy's perspective, how they view dating and how they view first date. So what this guy said was spot on. I remember years ago, I had a friend who was online doing all the apps, and he matched with a girl, and he said, okay, well, this weekend I'll take you to dinner. Okay, cool. And then a couple of days before, she texted him a list of a couple of restaurants that she said, these are some restaurants that I would like to go to. And every restaurant was a $200 plate. So clearly she wanted him to take him to a place that she could not afford himself. That's what it looked like, and that's what we were saying to each other. He ended up not going out with her. She was too demanding. She was requesting all these expensive restaurants. He was like, whatever. Being taken advantage of is a reality for guys. So
hot take. Coffee dates, ice cream dates, drink dates, etc. are low effort. Okay. I had this man ask me on a date tonight, and he said, oh, let's go for drinks. I would love to take you out. And I told him respectfully, no, I only do dinner dates. He was like, oh, I don't do dinner dates on the first date. Blocked. I'm not about to play with y'all, okay? These men, as women, we need to stop letting these men get away with low effort dates and literally doing the bare minimum, okay? Because first of all, why are you trying to get me impaired on the first date? Or why are you trying to get impaired around me on the first date? I'm uncomfortable. Absolutely not. Dinner is great. You can have drinks at dinner. That's 100% a non-negotiable for me. As soon as you're saying that you're not taking me to dinner, I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not trying to convince you. It's dead. You're blocked. Goodbye. The only time I would slightly understand drinks, like a coffee date, salad date, ice cream date, etc., is if he's like a millionaire, billionaire, okay, trillionaire. Like, unless you're up there. But the men that are doing this are regular men anyways.
Regular guys have to take her to dinner, but the billionaires, trillionaires don't have to. It's because probably she sees the billionaires and trillionaires as high value, and she probably respects them a little bit more, so she's not going to put any requirements on them. But the guys that she does not respect, that she feels like are beneath her in a way, they have to like perform for her. That's what I'm getting from this video. Hot take here. This girl is a perfect example of someone who will require dinner from a guy that she does not like. A guy that she likes, she will gladly accept a coffee date.
Nah, fellas, if she could be bought, she ain't worth it. See, with guys she actually likes, she doesn't make requirements of spending extra, going to certain places. She wouldn't do that with guys she likes. She's afraid that they actually won't do it. They're going to go find something that's less friction. With guys she likes, she doesn't make them jump to a bunch of these hula hoops and skip to my loos. Because they won't do it, number one. But your ass will. If she's making you all these friction points to get her on date 1, date 2, date 3, she likes your attention, but she really don't like you like that. With guys she likes, she'll do whatever. They say, oh, let's go to the diner. Well, perfect. Let's go hang out in the park. Yes, let's do it. Because she likes him. See, she has to actually like you. If she's placing requirements on where you go, and it's conditional on where you take her and how you take her, she's using you. She's using you. She doesn't really like you like that. Nope, because girls that like guys, they don't do that. Because the minute they put a stipulation on the guy they actually like, and he's that guy, he might say, no, who the fuck you think you playing with? Not over here, sweetheart, no. You like me, right? Yeah, exactly. Don't get confused out here, fellas. There are guys that she will even hit up first all the time, the ones that she actually likes. Oh, yeah, she ain't gonna tell you that. But that is true. There are guys that she will actually hit up first because she actually likes him. She doesn't want to lose him out of her life. But with you, she never talks to you. She's waiting because she likes your attention, and maybe she likes the way you bring her out or all this other shit, but she don't like you like that.
A month ago, I was out in New York City for my friend's birthday. So we're standing in the bar, and there's a girl sitting there by herself. I wasn't hitting on her or anything, but I just started chatting with her. And she told me, I just come from a date. And I was like, oh, how's it going? How was the date? And she goes, oh, it was okay. And I said, I always love to ask this question. I said, how's the dating scene? And she goes, nah, it's not that good. And I said, okay, but you went on a date, right? And she just paused for like 10 seconds. And then she goes, the guys in New York are good for dinner. And that's it. I was like, oh, okay.
Let's talk about the high cost of dating, especially for men. I was just talking to a male friend of mine who has been dating a woman for approximately 2 months. They go out on 1 to 2 dates per week, and he happened to be adding up the cost, and he realized that he has, in the time of getting to know her, has spent $2,500 on all of these dates. Now, mind you, they get on really well, and they're going to continue dating. They're in that getting to know you phase of dating, where it's still kind of hearts haven't been let down, but they really like each other. So how does that phase get negotiated? You can think of it as like this extended honeymoon phase where you're still like you're dating and you want to do interesting, fun things. You're still getting to know each other. How does that get negotiated? Because like it's $2,500 now, 2 more months, is that going to be another $2,500? It's $5,000 in. Personally, my opinion is, and I have made it pretty clear on other videos, like I do believe that men should be the chasers or the pursuers when it comes to dating. But that said, I do think if you're into someone, you should reciprocate somehow. Like, come towards the middle. To me, dating isn't all about how much money someone can spend on me. I really am not interested in someone spending money on me because money is easy to come by. I want someone to emotionally invest in me, and that can be done at an expensive date or it can be done at a free date. But how does that honeymoon phase of dating get negotiated? What do you guys think?
I don't think that there should be a reciprocation necessarily. I just think that there should be a better way of like managing expectations. Every date does not have to be a fancy dinner. Every day does not have to be an expensive activity because you're just spending time together. You're supposed to get to know each other and that's it. So the real reward is you spending time together. It doesn't have to be anything extravagant. If you have money like that, fine. I mean, this guy ended up spending $5,000 in 2 months. If he can afford it and he's comfortable, go for it. But most men are not. The average income in New York, the average income in the US is like $60K a year. And I think 44% of Americans cannot even afford a $1,000 emergency. So most people don't have $5,000 to spend every 2 months or $2,500 a month. So I think managing expectation is the real way to go. So Dr. Umar asked this girl in Australia on this podcast, I think she's Eritrean, so shout out to you, Wintana. He asked her, if you're with the man and he didn't have money like you, but he had a financial vision, would you invest in him $700 a month? And she said no. A lot of women expect the finished product. She doesn't want to help them level up, fine. But a man has to pay $200 a week, $300 a week to take you out, to get to know you, while courting you. That's the entry price. And if he can, he's a dusty, he's a brokey, he doesn't deserve your time. It's funny to see when the tables turn and see what they would do when they are in the same situation.
You know what I mean?
Would you have a problem if you met a man who made half of what you made or a third of what you made, but he had a financial vision of an empire, a business, some sort of an entrepreneurial undertaking?
See, I think that's dangerous.
Stay with me. Stay
I
with
think
me.
that's dangerous.
Let me finish it, and then I want you to respond. And he needed you to help invest in his dream. And he gave you a definitive timeline. He said, give me 12 months or 24, no more than that. If you invest in me, I promise you what I'm going to build will equal where you are. Would you have a problem investing in him?
What does investing in him mean?
Let's say he needed $700 a month to help fuel this dream. He needed $700 for 24 months. Could you do it? You're reluctant.
I am reluctant because what's the guarantee?
There is no guarantees in love. There is no guarantees in romance.
And also, I think context matters. How long have we been together?
I agree.
If it's just a guy that I met last year and all of a sudden he has these dreams and he wants me to fund it.
Y'all been dating for about 2 years. You like him. There might even be some love there. And he's saying
there might be some love there is crazy. There has to be some love there.
Let's say there is.
Has to be a future there. And I think that's what I'm saying. Context matters. If I see myself with this man.
But you didn't answer the question. Let's say all those things are there. Will you financially invest in him? Be honest, my queen. They already answered for you. They said hell to the nizzo.
Yeah.
My friends, we need to date smart, spend smarter, and most importantly, we need to stop the financial fuckery.